Yo, what is up guys? It's me exactly back bringing some more daily NBA news. So of course yesterday I did the video without the hat, and I just gotta say that some of you guys really think that you're funny in the comment section below. I got all types of things saying that I look like Tay Zonday, to Frank Ntilikina, to Bart Simpson. Apparently I look like everybody when I have my hat removed. You guys think you're funny now, but I really did have a really good time reading through all those comments. You guys actually are pretty funny. Anyways, thank you once again for coming back and spending a little portion of your day with me. You guys are the real MVPs, and if you're new here, if this is your first time, then welcome. You are also greatly appreciated, but make sure to just smack that sub button and hit the bell as well so you can stay up to date with everything that goes on in the NBA on a daily basis. But now let's take a look at everything that is going on in the NBA. But first, a quick word about this video sponsor, athleticcases.com. Basketball, baseball, football, or soccer, no matter what the sport, you guys can now rock your favorite player on the back of your phone. Use the promo code ZachLee for 10% off. Links are in the description box below. First up, we have to talk about the massive news that broke yesterday that coincidentally might just break the NBA. We got reports saying that Karl Anthony Towns and the Minnesota Timberwolves are not in a good place. Quote, I don't think Anthony Davis is going anywhere anytime soon, but Karl Towns, now that might be a different story. And this report came to us from ESPN's Brian Windhorst. And like I said, when this news broke, it sent the NBA world into an absolute craze. Even some players were getting in on it. And Zach LaVine responded to this article with a set of eyes on Twitter. Then Devin Booker responded to that set of eyes with his own set of eyes, followed up with a tweet of Karl Anthony Towns wearing a Phoenix Suns jersey. So yes, this was absolute madness. And what made this story even crazier is that not too long after it broke, we got reports saying that the Phoenix Suns will be willing to trade their #1 pick in the NBA draft. And this comes from none other than the Suns GM himself. We're certainly open to a trade. I think if you look around the NBA, as far as the veteran players, there are probably a few we consider trading the pick for. So it'll be a busy month for us. Now, he did say for a veteran player, and I don't know if he constitutes Karl Anthony Towns as a veteran player, but to me, if you're going to be in your 4th year in the NBA, you should know how the NBA works. You should know your way around the league, so you're kind of like a veteran player. And at the same time, it's Karl Anthony Towns. We're talking about one of the rising stars in the NBA. And let's not forget that Karl Anthony Towns and Devin Booker are like best friends. Also, Devin Booker now plays a pivotal role in the Suns' decision-making process, according to the Phoenix Suns themselves. And not only that, but Devin Booker has also put the Phoenix Suns on a little bit of a time crunch here to make the playoffs. Remember, when the Phoenix Suns season ended, he came out and said that he is done not making the playoffs, that last year would be the last season that he ever missed the playoffs again in his career. So he very well could be pushing the Phoenix Suns to acquire Karl Anthony Towns, even if it means trading the #1 draft pick. As far as why Towns and the Wolves are having some issues in the first place, it's starting to become speculatory that it might be because of Coach Tom Thibodeau, as Towns of course hasn't been the only Wolves player that has become frustrated with the organization. Back during the regular season, you remember getting reports about Andrew Wiggins not being happy with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Jamal Crawford has already said that he is not going to be coming back to the Wolves next season. So with this divide between the Wolves and Cavs, it's starting to become very possible that we see a reunion of Karl Anthony Towns and Devin Booker from the days in which they played together in Kentucky, but this time on the Phoenix Suns. For our next story, real quick, it seems like the NBA has decided on which 2 cities will be getting an NBA team next. Of course, it's going back to Seattle, but now Kansas City as well. As yesterday, we got a tweet from a scout saying this: NBA executive Jarrett, going to be real honest with you, Kansas City will get an NBA team at some point. It's a real thing. I've heard it from multiple sources, just a matter of time. Seattle and Kansas City to me are the most valuable markets for league expansion when it makes sense. So it sounds like those are going to be the 2 cities that are going to be getting teams. Now it just comes down to when it makes sense for the NBA to actually expand out to other cities. For our next story, we have some serious beef between Draymond Green's mom and Stephen A. Smith. As after the Warriors Game 2 loss to the Houston Rockets, Draymond Green's mom kind of put a little bit of the blame on Kevin Durant for why the Warriors lost that game when she tweeted this: "What you talking about? It's more to a game than just shots. It left everyone else standing around, never getting into position, swing the ball, pass the ball around, and at the 7-second mark, take the shot, not the 21-second mark. ISO, ISO, ISO. They beat us at our own game. You read that comment and it kind of sounds like Draymond Green's mom might not be the biggest Kevin Durant fan, and she might be blaming Kevin Durant for the loss that the Warriors suffered in game 2. And that is how Stephen A. Smith took it, as he responded to Draymond Green's mom by saying this:
when a mom says something, whether it's true or not, the belief is going to be that it came from the child, which ultimately means that there are going to be people out there who believe that it's something that Draymond Green must have said to his mom. I don't know. I wouldn't even think to ask if somebody, and none of my damn business what he says to his mama. That's their private, personal conversation. The problem is that if she echoes something publicly, you're not going to assume it's her. In most instances, you're going to assume it's the child. And that could always cause problems.
But it doesn't stop there, as Draymond Green's mom then responded to Stephen A. Smith on Twitter saying, first of all, I didn't blame Katie for anything. I talked about our defense and ISO ball. Regardless to us making shots, we pass the ball and get everyone into the game. Katie still ends up with the ball a lot. I said we did exactly what they did in the game they lost. Looking back at her first tweet, if you just read it, it does sound like she might be blaming Kevin Durant. She also said that she mentioned defense was part of the issue, but I didn't see defense mentioned even once in that tweet. So people still weren't convinced that she, wasn't putting the blame on Kevin Durant. And I guess that is why she followed it up with yet another tweet saying, I've been tweeting and talking about games. You are foolish if you think I'm against KD. We win as a team and I stand by that. I'm a fan like everyone else, but if you're going to say what I said, ask me so I can explain to you what I meant. However, it doesn't end there, as not too long after she tweeted out that tweet, she took the time to tweet once again at Stephen A. Smith, because I guess she was still mad at Stephen A. Smith. So she said this: by the way, Stephen A. Smith, I watch games and I know something about basketball, so your comment was wrong and sexist. However, I don't have a narrative written that I must go by, so I say what I want. Dre don't talk to me about basketball or his team, sorry. And then if you finally thought that this was all over, you would be wrong, as she wasn't done explaining her case, as she once again tried to clear the air between her and Kevin Durant by saying that she is actually one of KD's biggest fans. For the record, I'm a KD fanatic and I've enjoyed him since his Texas days. Loved him even more when he became a Warrior. All this he already knew though, because I have told him plenty of times. So please stop trying to make a story where there isn't one. Hashtag I'm done. Yo, what in the world is going on here? I think Draymond Green's mom might have taken what Stephen A. Smith said a little bit out of context, because all he said is that what she said could cause some other people to think that Draymond Green was going to her, saying some things about Kevin Durant, and that's why she was saying that. He didn't say that he personally believed that, and he also said that he doesn't care or doesn't want to know what Draymond Green and his mom talk about, because that's none of his business. But her coming out and saying stuff like that could lead people to believe things along those lines. Basically, all he said is that because she is who she is, she kind of needs to be more careful about some of the things that she said. Next up in the news, we got some pretty big reports regarding the Los Angeles Lakers, as news broke that they will be open to trading anyone on their roster. That includes Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, and Brandon Ingram. While they like their young core and would prefer to keep those players growing together, they have told teams no player is untouchable in trades, according to multiple sources who spoke on condition of anonymity because of the sensitive nature of the trade and free agent negotiation. This is a completely different tone than the Los Angeles Lakers had last offseason, when they said basically their entire young core was untouchable. No one was up for trade. However, just because they say guys can be had for the right price, it doesn't mean that they're actively looking to trade their young core. To be clear, the Lakers are not actively shopping any of their players. They are willing to listen to offers and could move one of them, even a member of their talented young core of Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, or Josh Hart, if the offer blows them away. So while I personally wouldn't bet on the Lakers trading anyone from their young core, I do think that it's interesting that they are now actually willing to trade some pieces from their young core. But we all know that the Los Angeles Lakers have their sights set on guys like LeBron James, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard, and what this might show us is that they are willing to do whatever it takes to land a couple of those players. And for our final story, it seems like the Memphis Grizzlies, who own the number 4 pick in the 2018 NBA draft, might be open to trading that number 4 pick in the NBA draft, as one anonymous NBA GM was quoted saying this about Memphis: "If you have someone you like in the first few picks, they're the first call you'd make. They obviously were the most disappointed with the way the lottery went and the options they have now. It seems like they want to try and turn that pick into something else." Everyone's going to talk before the draft, of course, but Memphis, I think they're the ones who are going to be more ready to do something than others. And the main reason that the Memphis Grizzlies feel this way is because they had the second best chance of landing the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. Yet despite that, they fell down 2 spots in the NBA draft to number 4, meaning that the guys they were hoping to get, either DeAndre Ayton or Luka Doncic, will not be available for them to pick at number 4. So they're like, you know what, why not? Let's see what we can get for this pick, since we're not going to be able to get one of the guys that we actually want. So maybe they look to trade down in the draft with a team like Chicago or New York, who might be looking to move up in the draft just to make sure they get the player that they still want, most likely Michael Porter Jr. So keep an eye out for Memphis to make some moves on NBA draft night. Anyways, that is going to lead us to the question of the day. Do you guys think that Karl Anthony Towns is actually going to get traded? If so, then to where? Let me know down in the comment section below. Wait, before I go, be sure to tune into Sports Q today, because we have a massive game going down with some insane prizes. Like, you're gonna want to make sure you're there. Links are in the description box below. But that is going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to smack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more daily NBA news. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see all of you right back here tomorrow, but until then, keep getting the buckets, Team ITC, and I'm out of here. Peace.